Why should you care about a book like Endure? Because in a world obsessed with hacks, shortcuts, and comfort, this book is a brutal reminder that nothing beats hard work. Cameron Hands is not your typical athlete, influencer, or best-selling author. He's a blue-collar bowhunter turned ultramarathoner, whose entire life is built around one idea. Nobody cares, work harder. That's the mindset he's lived by for decades while holding down a regular job, training like a savage and chasing elk in the most unforgiving terrain imaginable. Endure isn't just about hunting or running. It's about discipline, grit, and building a life you can respect in the mirror. For fans of David Goggins, Jocko Willink, or Joe Rogan, this book is a wake-up call. Comfort is the enemy. Suffering is the path. Discipline is the weapon. Chapter 1: The Hunter's Mindset. Cameron opens with a bold statement: I'm not special. He didn't come from money, wasn't the most gifted athlete, and never had a sponsor early in his career. What he had, though, was obsession. Growing up in Eugene, Oregon, Hands was exposed to hunting through his father. But it wasn't until his adult years that he discovered his real passion: backcountry bowhunting. I wanted to be the best bowhunter in the world. And not just in title, but in grind. That ambition required something more than skill. It required a complete transformation. Running daily, often for hours. Weight training after work. Shooting his bow hundreds of times a week. Studying animals and landscapes. Practicing mental fortitude for grueling hunts. The lesson here: you don't need a spotlight, you need obsession. Hands emphasizes the working man's ethic. He never quit his job at the Springfield Utility Board. His mornings started at 4 a.m. He trained in silence, without applause. His message: if you're looking for a shortcut, Endure isn't for you. Chapter 2: Discipline over Motivation. Motivation is fleeting, Hands writes. Discipline is who you are. This chapter is a war cry against the culture of easy. Social media shows highlight reels. Hands offers blood, sweat, and failure. He breaks down his core practices. Daily running, no excuses. He's run over 250 marathons in training alone. Weightlifting after work, even when exhausted. Shooting his bow hundreds of times weekly. Writing and reflecting daily for accountability. He describes his workouts as building bullets, preparing himself to face the mountains where he hunts. You can't lie to the mountains. You either did the work or you didn't. This chapter reminds us pain is part of the process. And how you do anything is how you do everything. Chapter 3: From Bow to Ultra. Here, Hands recounts his progression from a weekend hunter to an ultra-endurance athlete. His introduction to ultramarathons came not through desire, but through necessity. If I want to hunt like a savage, I need to train like one. He tells stories of running 100-mile races like the Moab Red Hot, the Western States 100, and training through extreme heat, injury, and doubt. What's wild is he's not doing it for medals, he runs for purpose. The run is my sharpening stone. It prepares me for the hunt, for life, for hardship. One story stands out. He completed a 100-mile race in 27 hours. Then woke up the next morning and shot 100 arrows to reinforce that training never stops. He sees running and hunting as one spiritual path. Each teaches him how to endure pain, focus under pressure, and earn confidence. Chapter 4: Keep Hammering the Daily Grind. Keep hammering is not just a motto, it's a mentality. Hands explains that the phrase represents persistence in repetition, showing up when no one's watching, grinding when you're tired, trusting that compound effort adds up. He compares this to hunting. You hike for days in silence and cold. You miss a shot and must live with it. You blade, you fail, you adapt. But keep hammering doesn't mean ignoring rest. Hands is strategic about recovery. He stretches daily, listens to his body, sleeps as much as needed, eats to fuel, not just taste. Still, he believes most people rest too much and train too little. Your brain will quit 10x before your body does. This chapter is a masterclass in how to build a relentless work ethic without excuses. Chapter 5: Bowhunting as Spiritual Discipline. Cameron gets philosophical here. He believes bowhunting is a metaphor for life. Why? Because you must train in silence. Success comes after failure. Nature doesn't reward ego. You must learn patience, respect awareness. He writes about hiking deep into public land with nothing but a backpack. Bow and willpower sleeping in tents. Facing grizzlies, missing shots after a week of stalking. And still waking up and trying again. The mountains don't care, you care. He also talks about the ethical side of hunting. Respect for the animal. Harvesting only what he'll use. Honoring nature's balance. For him, killing is not the point. It's the pursuit, the test, the alignment between predator and prey, and between man and nature. Chapter 6, Mindset is the Master. Everything is mindset, every day is a mental game. Hands outlines the beliefs that shape his grind. No one owes you anything. Success is rented and rent is due daily. Excuses are lies. You're stronger than you think. You will be tested. He shares his inner monologue when pain hits. Good, now we grow. And when fear rises, keep hammering. This repetition becomes identity. And over time, identity becomes destiny. Chapter 7, From Obsession to Purpose. The final chapter of Section 1 is about turning passion into purpose. Cameron shares how his obsession became a platform one that inspires millions. Speaking on Joe Rogan's podcast, building a loyal fitness hunting following, launching his own training app, helping young men reconnect with grit and self-respect. He didn't plan it, he just showed up daily. When you build yourself, others pay attention. He ends by challenging readers. What are you obsessed with? What would you do if no one applauded? What's stopping you from enduring today? Section 1 Key TAKAWIS. 1. Hard work beats everything. There's no hack, no comfort zone that will take you to mastery, only work. 2. Keep hammering is a way of life. It's about consistency, resilience, and humility. 3. Endurance is mental, not just physical. The brain quits before the body, train both. 4. Passion becomes purpose through pain. Pain is the price of excellence. 5. Start where you are, just start. You don't need a six-pack or a sponsor, just grind. Chapter 8, Daily Rituals that Build Real Grit. Consistency over flashiness defines Hans' training. He isn't peak or showy, he's relentless. Core rituals. 4 a.m. wake up for runs, mobility drills, and bow work. Bow practice immediately after hundreds of precise shots. Ultradistance runs or long hikes regardless of weather. Strength training or circuits after work. Recovery work, stretching, foam rolling, mobility flows. Accountability journaling, tracking days trained, hours slept, miles run. Every day equals one more day closer to personal confidence. He tracks metrics to remove excuses, mileage. Water intake, bow reps, sleep. Discipline isn't what you do once in a while. It's what you do every day behind closed doors. Chapter 9, Injury, Pain, and the Art of Bouncing Back. Endurance and toughness are only as real as your recovery. Hans explains, injuries are inevitable. How you respond matters more than the injury itself. He shares moments, plantar fasciitis, stress fractures, joint soreness. He never wallows, instead. Deload weeks for body repair. Physio sessions when needed. Ice compression, massage as regeneration tools. Partial training in low-impact modes like biking or swimming when injured. His mantra, pain is feedback, not defeat. He also emphasizes mental recovery when your mood breaks. You rest when your focus drifts, you breathe and reset. Chapter 10, Nutrition, Fuel for the Hustle. Hans rejects fad diets and sophistication. His nutrition is elemental. High-protein, whole-food diet, lean meats, eggs, vegetables. Seasonal wild game, he personally hunts elk. Deer, giving meaning to fueling. Occasional fasting protocols like 16-hour fasts to reset appetite and focus. Hydration habits, water-heavy days. Electrolyte conscious after long runs. He's not calorie counting, he's performance conscious. If you're dragging during a brutal training day, you probably underfueled yesterday. He sees food as fuel, not distraction. His approach allows mental clarity and consistent energy. Chapter 11, Gear, Nature, and Tactical Preparation. Hands treats gear like sacred trust. Bow and arrows precision-tuned, tested, and maintained. Footwear reliable trail shoes. Broken in well before long hunts. Layers windproof, weather-resistant cold gear, shooting in pre-dawn chills. Hydration packs, clean water. Electrolytes, compact high-calorie snacks. First aid kits and navigation tools ensure safety in remote runs. More than equipment, he emphasizes terrain literacy. Hans spends hours learning topography, wind patterns and seasonal animal patterns, anticipating rain, safety hazards, or altitude adjustments isn't optional, it's survival craft. Chapter 12, Mental Edge, training the mind to thrive in pain. Suffering isn't accidental, it's a tool. Hans uses mental practices like positive self-talk during long runs, keep hammering echoes when legs burn. Visualization before hunts, reviewing shots, weather risks. Acceptance training, choosing discomfort to weaken fear's grip. Breathing exercises to steady heart. Lower cortisol, stay calm in stress. When doubt creeps in, I welcome it, it means I'm growing. He constantly asks, who do I want to become when this is over? What pain is worth paying today for tomorrow's character? Chapter 13, Community and Humility in the Grind. Despite being known for solo grit, Hans credits his community. Training partners who set tempo and push limits. Mentors who guided his journey, early seasoned hunters, coaches. Wilderness communities, bowhunters. Trail runners, conservationists sharing judgments, advice, and hard truth. He learns humility via nature's indifference when you fail in the mountains. Success does not self-congratulate. You learn respect, you learn silence, you stop flinching. Nobody cares but the mountain, and it demands respect. Chapter 14, Rest, Sleep, and Strategic Recovery. High performance demands strategic rest. He treats sleep like oxygen, scheduling 7-9 hours, often napping midweek. Rest days come monthly or when exhaustion spikes. Solitude and reset replace training. He resets with hunting only weeks, no added mileage. Purely observation and patient waiting in nature. He shares a belief. Most people recover too much. You'll get better results if you sometimes push when you feel okay. This reciprocal dynamic between effort and rest builds a long-haul mindset. Chapter 15, Legacy and Endurance, passing the grind forward. As Section 2 closes, Hans reflects on what endurance builds beyond muscles. Character, honesty, consistency, humility. Legacy, young hunters who respect the craft, young adults learning grit. Contribution, raising money for outdoor access. Hosting young men's camps, mentoring veterans. He insists, you're not here to beat the mountain. You're here to be better than you were yesterday. Section 2, Summary. In this section we covered daily rituals, discipline in run, bow shots, training logs. Recovery strategies, handling injuries. Balanced rest, mental resets. Nutrition habits, purposeful fuel. Fasting, hydrating for performance. Gear and preparedness, technical tools. Terrain knowledge, safety planning. Chapter 16, Cold, Darkness, and the Shape of Greatness. In one of the book's most brutal accounts, Hans describes running long distances in sub-zero weather. Pre-dawn darkness and bitter isolation. These conditions are a crucible because mountains don't feel sorry for you. Key lessons. Comfort is the opposite of growth. Training in perfect conditions doesn't prepare you for the real thing. Harness discomfort, use cold, darkness, and physical pain as tools to teach endurance. Mental landmarking, break epic challenges into small steps. Just get to that tree, then the next hill. Chapter 17, Facing Failure Head-On. Hans doesn't hide his losses, missed animals. Failed races, physical injuries. Each failure fuels transformation. Highlights. A 100-mile race where he bonked hard with calories gone and spirit drained, forcing a futility check. Missing a critical elk shot after a 6-day stalk, seeing blood. Hearing the animal limp away. And standing in responsibility. Each time recovery means reflection. Choosing humility and reshaping identity. If I survived, I earned the right to tell the story. Chapter 18, Grief, Loss, and the Quiet Strengths. Hans wrestles with grief, the death of mentors, friends, and his own moments of doubt. He explains how endurance became his anchor. Running through heartbreak granted slower, clearer grief processing. Long distances gave space to honor the memories of those lost. Silently, he admitted, resilience isn't about suppressing sorrow, it's about acknowledging it and honoring the people you carry forward. Chapter 19, Fear is the Compass. Fear is not weakness, it's information. Hans suggests, identify fear early, notice the physical signs: racing pulse, tense jaw. Line into it, step toward what intimidates you, but only after you've done the work. Run with it, turn fear into fuel. The finish line isn't courage, it's choice. Chapter 20, Faith, Purpose, and the Marathon of Life. Faith for Hans is weathered, personal. Not preached, more experiential than doctrinal. He describes moments of silence on ridges, feeling something bigger than himself. How endurance gave him clarity about fear and failure's place in the human experience. Purpose, a headband that reads purpose, reminding him that he isn't running for trophies, but to become useful, humble, and connected. Chapter 21, Your Keep Hammering Blueprint. This is a practical, actionable chapter with a challenge. 1. Identify your mountain. What's the relentless challenge you're avoiding? 2. Plan your route. What rituals will prepare you? 3. Start small, build momentum through micro-initiatives. 4. Track the grind, journal time. Miles, gear checks, mental wins. 5. Harvest lessons from failure, journal mistakes. Pain, regrets, and what they taught you. 6. Build a tribe, find accountability partners to share the journey. 7. Rest intentionally, balance pushing and recovery. 8. Execute with heart, endure because you care about the person you're becoming. You're pacing yourself through a longer, more meaningful life, not just a race toward a finish line. Chapter 22, Living the Legacy. Finally, Hans turns outwards, talking about community impact. He's guided by youth mentorship in archery and trailcraft, conservation awareness, advocating for public land access, wildlife care, veteran outreach, helping men refine purpose through long runs and rugged discipline. Legacy isn't trophies, it's the people he's moved, the resilience he's helped grow. Section 3, Key Takeaways. 1. Master adversity, cold, darkness. Failure, these are your teachers. 2. Own your failures, every misstep holds transformation. 3. Let grief deepen you, pain can be a path to compassion. 4. Use fear as a signpost, it signals growth, not retreat. 5. Align discipline to purpose, training becomes transcendence. 6. Systemize your grind, rituals create identity. 7. Invest in others, your endurance becomes community strength.